Want to keep up with the latest LEGO Mega 96.1 videos? Make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. Hello everyone, LEGO Mega 96.1 here with another video. And welcome back to another On This Day in History. It was on this day in history, on July 17th, 1955, the doors to Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom, Disneyland, opened its doors. Now, if you know me and you know my channel, I love Disney. I do. And I will continue to love Disney until death do I part. Now, I was introduced to Disney at a very young age by my mother, who showed me the Disney movies, Disney sing-along songs. I've been to a Disney-themed store. I've also been to a Disney ice show. And my first time down to Walt Disney World was in 1997. I was a year old by the time I went down. Now, I've only been to the Walt Disney World Resort. I've never been to Walt's original Magic Kingdom, Disneyland, which is all the way out in California where I am. Maybe I will someday. I just gotta save up a lot of this. Now, before I can go over the changes to the park, let's go over the history of what led up to Disneyland's creation. Now, the creation and the inspiration towards Disneyland was in Griffith Park in the 1930s. Now, Walt went with his two young daughters, Diane and Sharon Disney, and Walt was sitting on one of the benches, which you can find in Disneyland in the theater leading to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. It was there that Walt got ideas to make a theme park, not only for the kids, but also for the family, too. Now, but the plans were put on hold because due to World War II, the U.S. got involved, and many of Walt's workers were sent to the fight. In other words, drafted into the Army, or the Navy, or the Marines, or the Army Air Corps. Later became the Air Force. And the Coast Guard, too. Let's not forget the Coast Guard. Now, as I said, plans were on hold, but they were put back on the spotlight until the late 40s and into the 50s. All the way to 1955, which was the same year Disneyland opened. Now, Walt introduced a lot of ideas for the park. Mainly, he had ideas for Frontierland in Main Street, USA, Adventureland, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland. Now, many of the areas that you know, like Galaxy's Edge or New Orleans Square, they didn't come around until later on. Like when New Orleans Square came around, it didn't open until the 60s. And Galaxy's Edge didn't open until the late 2000s and teens. Now, interesting fact, when Disneyland did open, when you went on some of the rides, like Snow White's Scary Adventure or Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, many of you didn't notice, but you played a part of the protagonist, because what I've heard, people were, when they rode some of the rides, they were asking, where's Snow White? Where's Peter Pan? Where's Mr. Toad? Well, as I said earlier, you're taking part of the protagonist, meaning you take part of the main character. Like, you play Snow White and Snow White, Mr. Toad and Mr. Toad, and Peter Pan and Peter Pan. Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. But over time, many of the figures and rides were updated with new effects, new animatronics. A lot of changes made it to the park. But overall, well, Disneyland is a really fantastic park, and I highly recommend you go there. Now, I've been to Walt Disney World, and I've love going down there. It's really fun. Now, as for Disneyland, Walt said, and this is going to all Disney parks, that the park would never be finished because as long as there is imagination in the world, Disneyland and many other Disney parks will continue to grow and expand for many years to come. Now, interesting fact: when you walk down Main Street, you may notice some of the light posts was as you walk down Main Street because they changed from the late 19th century all the way through to the future. Now, you may notice, like on top of the buildings of Main Street, some of the flags are different too. Now, as we know, well, the actual flag of the United States has the 50 stars and 13 stripes. But you may notice that a star is missing and a stripe is missing because it all has to do with a certain law that has to do when it comes to a Disney theme park. And I recommend you suggest watching How Disney Built America because that's how Disney got the inspiration for making some of the movies. These how they made some of the theme parks, animatronics, hotels, and so forth. And that's pretty much it. And here's to the Magic Kingdom at Disneyland. May it continue to grow and prosper for many years to come. So here's to Disneyland. Zhendan. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like this and many other videos that I've done on my channel, please feel free to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on that bell notification so that way you can be notified when I upload the next video. And as always, this is LEGO Mega 96 1 signing off.